And a very warm welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, Facebook. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Be Live in 5 with Bridgetti Lambanda and Stephen Healy, where we talk about live streaming tips using the Be Live TV app and other fun stuff. We connect South Africa and England, and sometimes we're joined by other guests from around the globe. We always love having friends join us on camera and comment live as we approach the weekend. So this is a very casual show. Come on in and have some fun with us. When we first started a year ago, we were answering technical questions about Be Live TV. And as time went on, we transformed the show into a talk show for everyone. You get to ask our guests questions and you can get the answers right here on the show live. If you're catching this on the replay, well then, leave your questions in the comments and we'll get back to you. Do let us know where you're watching from. We have such a wide audience, so let us know in the comments where you are watching from. Now, usually we've got a bot going, and most of you who watch us regularly know all about that. Well, Steven's in charge of the bot and he's not here this week. So since the bot's not around, we're going old school. If you'd like to join us on camera, I can send you the link via Messenger. This show is sponsored by the hosts of Be Live in 5 and Be Live TV. Welcome, everyone. Great to have you all here today. I have got a special co-host since Steven's away. So I'm going to invite on Angeline Longshore. Angeline, I'm going to bring you on in a moment. And there you are.
Am I there?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. How fun. Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here. Hello, Be Live in 5 audience. I don't think I've met you before.
I don't.
This is the first. So
Yes.
I've known Bridgetti for a long time. But it's so nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me to be on here with you. How fun.
I know, Steven and I have consistently done the show for over a year together. And I think there's only been a handful of times where we needed to not do the show for a week or two. But we've managed to consistently run the show for the past year. And every now and then, life happens. And so Steven's away for 2 weeks. And last week, I took the week off as well. And so we're back this week. And it's always more fun to have a co-host. So I'm so pleased that you could join me.
Thanks. And I am here in Maui, Hawaii, while Bridgetti is in South Africa. So we are 12 hours apart, just FYI. It's really just this technological wow for me every single time it happens. And I love it. And so Bridgetti, I don't know if you had an agenda today, but, and you can tell me if you do, but I have just come back from VidCon. So I thought, it'd be so fun to share some of the things that happened there. But if you have an agenda, we haven't even talked about what we're talking about today. This is a really informal show.
No, it is. It totally is because, Stephen and I basically every week, we sometimes have a little bit of an agenda, which you kind of just allow the conversation to flow, which is also great. And sometimes we have people from the audience join us and we allow them to steer the conversation because, we try and make it more of a community talk show than anything else. Mm-hmm. So, no, we've got no agenda. And I'd love to hear about VidCon because you and I haven't had a chance to connect yet.
I know.
So tell me more about VidCon.
Well, this was my first time going, and I believe they've been going on for a few years. So they are fairly new. But what's really cool is that there were so many more people there that were from the industry, I guess you could say. And I think of myself as somebody from the industry because I do have a small agency that helps branded personalities to do video. But it was so interesting because there are, I don't know if you've been there before, Bridgetti, but there are 3 different kinds of tracks. So there's all these people who are just fans of YouTubers. And then there's the creators, of course, YouTube creators. And then there's the industry. So, but this year it wasn't all focused on YouTube. So for me, that was great because I'm all over the place. I mean, there's so many different platforms to be on. And, just to have everyone who's really into video and video creation is what VidCon was about this year. And so it was huge. I mean, it was just a ton of people, but also there were some amazing takeaways, amazing people that I would never actually get up and close and personal with to ask questions. So, I'm in Maui. So I'm on an island, which means I, really can't go to a lot of events. And also at these events, there aren't always those top echelon people there. And so at this conference, there were agencies, big agencies. I talked with someone from NBC and big people who you probably wouldn't get in a room with, and you probably couldn't even get them on the phone. So for me, that was really, really cool because I used to be in the broadcast industry, and now after a life change of being a mother and everything on an island, I'm still in the industry, but in a different way. It's an online industry. So as you know, you're in South Africa, I'm in Maui. So, these things happen differently, but the broadcast industry is now coming to VidCon. And so I met people who said, this is my first time. These are industry people, executives who said, this is my first time at VidCon. I don't really know why I'm here. And that was actually really cool because since they didn't know why they were here, they didn't have an agenda, and they were open to just talking and just being regular, I guess you could say, so I felt like I was regular with regular people, and they just happened to be industry people. And I think that's what you really want, when you go to these places, these networking situations, is to have human to human connection in a real way. And so for me, that was amazing. And what's really cool, I guess I wanted to say about VidCon, is they had these sessions that you could book with people that were attending. And I don't know any other conference that does that, but if you're a conference creator, then it's a really cool thing to just allow your visitors, your attendees, and your other speakers and everyone to decide if they want to interact and create meetings. So they had an app that you could actually book a meeting with people. Now, it was their first time. Yeah, it was really,
so what was the app called? Or was it specifically developed for the conference?
No, it's for any conference, actually, and any conference creator can use this. It's called Brella, Brella. And it works really well, but VidCon forgot to have a special meeting place. And so they canceled the first day of meeting, which was all my meetings. And so I had all these meetings set up, and then we were all scrambling to try to meet each other. So I think next year it'll be better. But, I love technology. And that was one thing I was really impressed with. I'm like, wow, there's this way to meet up with people. And so I did meet up with people. And then, so that was a wow for me. Just meeting face to face with people, talking with people in the hallway that were industry executives and asking them like my questions,
Right.
So that was really cool. And then, Facebook was there, and they announced a bunch of stuff, and Instagram was there announcing IGTV. And, so all that happened. And I don't know if you want to know any details or anything, but maybe we could do something on Video School Live about all the details that I learned there. But it was the latest. And there also was Adobe who announced, there were a couple of big things that were announced just for VidCon. Like these companies, they hold off, actually, which to me was like, wow, I am in that place where companies will hold off to announce something so they can announce it there, because they know all those people are their people. And so it felt really special. It felt like I was in the place that I needed to be if I'm a video creator who really wants to see people who are other video creators and industry people and get to know people and feel immersed, so that's very different from being online. And I don't get that experience really often. So for me, it was really exciting, a lot of energy, a lot of ideas. And I've corresponded with people since then and made friends. So to me, that's like a win, when you do that.
Well, that's really cool. I mean, did you meet any people there that you met online?
Yes.
In the live streaming world?
Yes.
Because I think that's kind of the ultimate woohoo moment, is when you've seen people online, like on LinkedIn or on a live stream, and now you go to a conference and you meet them in real person. I mean, that is like, a wow moment.
Totally. Yes. And I got to talk to them in person and ask them questions. But one person that I interviewed was Jeremy Vest. He is somebody who puts on a conference. It's actually a workshop called Video Marketing World. And he's not really a household name, but people who are really big YouTubers have their brands and their channels have been grown by him to billions viewers.
He was actually interviewed the other day by Owen Video in the BeLivers group.
Oh, okay.
And he shared some amazing truth bombs about how to grow your following and engagement. He is awesome. So, I mean, you got to meet him in person and get some, pick his brains a little.
Well, what's really cool is I met him on LinkedIn. So you know how you do, you just meet someone on LinkedIn, you follow them, and if they're interesting to you and if they post interesting things to you, you comment. And so we had sort of, a knowing of each other on LinkedIn, but it's really different because they don't really know you. I mean, over time they can get to know you, but this just like sped up that KLT thing. And, so we had a conversation, and then I interviewed him for Video School Live. And then after that, we had an email conversation, and he is thinking about actually being, coming along and learning from me, which is really cool. I guess you could say being my client. I don't know. I just think of him as somebody who knows so much, but I'm just going to help him a little bit, possibly with his performance, video performance. And so it's just, and then we've had this conversation where he's invited me to be an affiliate of his Video Marketing World. And so it's taken our relationship to the next level, not the next, but like a deeper level. And it's still new. So I don't know. I feel like, I'm like saying all these things about him, but, I think Jeremy understands, it's like anyone who's online and you're having an online conversation with, he's probably done it to himself, where you build a relationship. And when you meet in person, you're like, wow, I'm interacting with somebody who, I think of him as a mentor. So, and I've done with this again with somebody else, Todd Hartley, who I think of as a mentor. And then I saw there Goldie Chan. I was in a panel with her. I could ask her questions. I saw String. Everybody knows String Nguyen in LinkedIn. And I saw people from afar that I didn't get to talk to that I know on LinkedIn. I saw also YouTubers that I know of. Freddie Wong, I got to ask him questions. He's an amazing video creator. Technical questions on how to make my reality show better, because he is just a technical, I don't know, I think of him as a guru. His stuff is so quality. So, he does episodics. So I really didn't have a connection with anyone who does episodics. And I really wanted to improve, learn something to improve my reality show camera work. So that was just like, wow, he was just there and I could talk with him. And I felt like such a strange fan in a sense, because I'm not normally that way. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's great to ask somebody questions in person. And nothing beats person to person interaction. And before we carry on, I want to say hello to Gina, because Gina joined us online. So welcome, Gina. Gina, if you want to join us in the conversation, please let me know and I'll send you the link. But yeah, so I mean, it's who else did you meet that was interesting?
Let me think. Industry people that you may not know. Somebody from Group 9 Media. Group 9 does. They feed a lot of Facebook Watch. So the shows that are on Facebook Watch. And I mean, I had actually been trying to interact with them online, and I really, they're just such a high level company that I'm sure they get a lot of people trying to interact with them. And so you just can't really get a foot in the door. And I spoke with somebody who is a high level executive, and we had a conversation, and we actually had a conversation about a panel that I'm thinking about putting on with VidCon maybe next year. And I've gotten sort of approval-ish as a possibility. So I'm really excited about it. And that's about the agency's responsibility in creating authentic, meaningful, inspired brands and personalities. I call them TV personalities because this is 2.0 TV. But, what's the responsibility? Because there's a lot of people, the culture and society is influenced by YouTubers, especially, who are what I think is sort of over the top personas, and they're not actually real people. And so children and different people are modeling themselves after different people who maybe are not the best role models, and feeling like they have to be fake themselves. So anyway, I've talked to a few different people who might be interested in being on the panel, and then the VidCon people who are interested in that subject as a panel. So anyway, that was really cool to be able to interact. Somebody from Tubular Insights and interviewed her. Another platform that's really kind of exciting is called Caffeine TV, and they haven't launched yet, but they're made by the people who made Apple TV. And so I interviewed someone from that company, and they're doing amazing things. I mean, there's a lot.
I've heard of them. What's their niche? I mean, where do they hope to position themselves?
Okay, so they haven't launched yet, so a lot of people haven't heard about them yet. They're just kind of getting into position, but they're like an OTT, an over-the-top service. So over-the-top service is something that is an internet broadcast platform where it's, as opposed to pay for cable or something like that. So like a Netflix or an Amazon or something like that. And so there are some others not as big named that are coming out that may be big named. I mean, for one, we know our friend Carlos Phoenix, and he has the Latino Entertainment Network that he has started. I don't know when he started it, but a while ago. So there's a lot of OTTs that are, what's great about them when they're smaller is that you can be discovered and you can find your niche of people and you can interact. So as far as cable TV, if you broadcast, which I'm used to because I'm a broadcaster originally, is you broadcast something and it's a static, one way experience where somebody is getting that, but they can't interact. And so in this, you can interact real time, and you can sell products, and you can, you can do things with people. But I guess there's that on Instagram and all these different, they're sort of big. So anyway, there's more of these OTT, like smaller ones coming out. And so I think that's kind of interesting. I wonder if they will find their niches just like Carlos found the Latino community. And I know he embraces others with his lounge network, but there's, and he's been doing it for so long. Now people are just getting onto it. He's such a futurist, but now people are just getting into it, where companies are starting to form these because they realize this is where people are. I mean, people are watching shows online, and we all know it because we're on Be Live. So of course we know it, but the majority of people pretty much have just moved over. I mean, I guess millennials have been, but just the major cable television watchers are realizing there's good stuff on OTTs like Amazon and Netflix. And then they're going to be discovering these other, like I'm calling them smaller ones, but I'm saying maybe it's alternative ones. That's probably a better way to say it. Yeah.
You know what I'm really enjoying is we've now got the Facebook Premier facility. I don't know if it's been active on your profile yet. I have found that it's not available on all pages. I don't even know what the formula is for them rolling it out.
Facebook Premiere, okay.
Yes, it's not quite clear what formula they're following.
Is that on Creator? Facebook Creator?
Yes, if you're a Facebook creator, it's made available on your page.
Okay.
And what that allows you to do is you can now take video content and feature it. So pre-recorded video. Oh. And then you can play that pre-recorded video as if it's live. And you can also take that pre-recorded video and schedule it the same way as you would schedule a regular live. And the thing that I'm crazy about is the fact that you can get the metrics on that video. Because previously, if you used the pre-recorded video, you wouldn't get any stats on it at all. So the Premier video is now a video that you can take and you can feature it. So you can actually take something that's a good quality video, for example, load that up and show that as a Premiere video, and so you can do really good high quality production stuff and put that onto your timeline. And the other thing that I think is going to start growing in popularity is Facebook watch parties, where you can watch a video in your group if there's a common interest, or pre-recorded videos that you want to do training on. So you can actually sit there with your group, watch the video together, and discuss it with them. So those are all engagement tools that I think is really going to start taking off.
Yeah, what I heard from the Facebook people in every panel that I was on, it was pretty much the same message. Excuse me. And that was that they were really listening to video creators and what they needed. And they're realizing that they sort of went in a direction for a while. They didn't say this, but I could feel it. They went in a direction for a while that was not best for everyone. And so they're like, no, we are going to now change directions and embrace what people need that are on our platform. And so they created all these things. They have some notes because they talked about how they want to help people manage their presence. Everyone, business owners, video creators, anyone who's on there, they want to help them build their business. And then they also want to grow and engage communities. And so that's why they unleashed all these tools. So for our businesses, there's the Brands Collab Manager, where you can actually be connected to big brands. And there's monetization tools that they've put in place, subscriptions, where if you're a business owner or brand owner, you can put a subscription to your show or your, whatever you want. There's I'm trying to see what else I wrote down here. There's the Brands Launchpad. So if you're a new brand, they're going to help you to launch your brand. And and then with watch programs, if you are inducted into Facebook Watch, then you get the insights of who your top fans are. So you can engage more with them, use those people as influencers and grow that, so at that higher level of Facebook Watch shows, you can see who your top fans are. And then if you hold a watch party, it's like I think this is what I think that they want is really, instead of being in the real world, they want people to act as if the online world is the real world. So it's like, hey, everyone, at 7 o'clock, come over to my house in my living room and let's watch the show. But instead, it's my living room is Facebook, my page, and then you can hang out and talk with people. And so I think the ultimate for me would be if different people can pop on, with their face in a corner and, and we can talk about things. It might get a little noisy, but right now it's, commenting and things like that. But so that's what they really want is they're giving you tools, audience interaction tools, the ability for Facebook creators, for video show creators to do polls and surveys and contests and challenges. And all these things are built in. And, they're really working hard because they know that they're actually losing people. And, that's a fact. So they want to just bring people back. They want to be everything, as we all know, so they want to be a Netflix and they want to be a YouTube, and they are working really closely with helping you cross promote with Instagram. So, that's a really cool thing because IGTV is another, you look at IGTV and you look at Facebook Watch and you think, there's two different platforms that, how do I choose? What do I do? But they're actually really different. But and you can use them differently and then cross promote IGTV with your Instagram and your Facebook. And so it helps you to be everywhere because, Bridgetti, it's like time for a video creator or an entrepreneur or anyone on social media is the main thing that is difficult. So they're actually helping. And I really appreciate that Facebook is doing that. So I'm really excited.
That's very interesting. That they're showing people how these different platforms integrate with one another, because people generally kind of think, it's one or the other, or this one's now going to kill YouTube, or this is going to kill Facebook, or this is going to kill Instagram. But they all really serve a different purpose, and they all play nicely together. They fulfill a different function, different niche, and people will find what works for them. Facebook may not work for everyone. YouTube may work better for you, or Instagram may work better for you. And you'll find the place where your audience is.
So
and you do well to concentrate on where your audience is.
Well,
where your most engaging audience is.
Executives should hear what you had to say, because I believe that they are competing and they don't realize that they each have their own platform personality, and that people will be drawn based on what they are good at and what people believe about that platform already. And so they're trying to actually, Facebook is trying to bring gamers over by doing a gamer launch pad. They're saying that we'll give you preferential treatment. We'll help you grow your gaming community and things like that. And, I do think that you are so right that they really should listen to you because, they should listen to creators and users, because we know that we gravitate towards certain platforms because they appeal to us and our audience in a certain way. Although if you do want to cross over, it's nice to have the tools. It's nice to have the ability and that it's built in. But I believe you are right in we talk differently to our people that are on YouTube and our Instagram, and also the video format is going to be this way, Instagram this way, YouTube this way. And for me, I don't know, you tell me what you think. I believe that when I sit down and watch a TV show or a movie, I actually want to sit back and see peripherally the entire screen. And that to me is an experience. So in me thinking about producing my reality show, and I'm going to be using IGTV, but I have to think about what is that experience for the person doing this? What do they want to see? They don't really want to see the whole. It's different to me. It's different content. And,
That's an interesting point. That's a good one that you mentioned that. Now, I mean, the reason why everyone's going vertical is because
we have phones.
statistically, we have phones, and everyone is really watching content on their phone, and hence they're going vertical. But the interesting thing, and now you must help me out again, I'm really, really bad with names. Who's the guy that you said you met at VidCon?
Jeremy Best.
Yes, Jeremy. Yes. So one of the gems that he shared was that people think they can get away with doing a Facebook Live video, for example, and then post that on IGTV or post that on LinkedIn. And he's saying his advice was that if you really want to grow your audience, then tailor your content and your presentation for that audience. Talk to that audience, because that's how you're going to endear yourself to your audience on a particular, there's general content that one can share everywhere. But if you have a particular audience on Instagram and you have a different audience on Facebook, you need to tailor the content of your show to that particular audience, because what works for the Facebook audience isn't going to work for the Instagram audience.
Or the LinkedIn audience.
Or the LinkedIn audience, yes. So you really have to think about who your audience is and what it is that they are looking for, because if you're not fulfilling the need of your audience, then what are you doing on live?
Then no one will tune in. I mean, you can be on there, which a lot of people are, and are people actually tuning in? Because is there value there for that particular audience, that person viewing? Yeah, good point. Excellent point. I mean, it comes down to the simple basics like that. Some people, we get sometimes up here about like, oh, we need to do all these things. But then when you really think about what does the person watching really need and want, it's that simple.
Another point that I've learned from everyone who has been successful with video, yes, video quality is great, but don't get hung up on the technical stuff. Your content and just you is more important. Your human side is what people want to see. Connect person to person. Because people don't really connect with, people don't connect with tech. They don't connect with content. They don't connect with your surroundings. They're not going to connect with anything else but you. So if you can find a way to befriend your audience and endear yourself to people, when they need your service or your goods, they're going to come to you because they were drawn to you because of a specific thing that you have, your personality or the way that you talk to them, whatever it is. So don't get hung up on the technical stuff and put off going live for that reason, because you're going to miss out.
Right. I have found a similarity of that mindset of people who are afraid to go live or even do recorded video because they think they have to be professional or perfect or a broadcast type quality. And then I see the same thing with people on their, even especially their LinkedIn posts, where at first when they're, and I've been guilty of this myself, at first you think, okay, I need to write in a way that is professional, especially on LinkedIn. But then I realized the people who are getting the most engagement are those people who are revealing not personal, but who they are. You know what I mean? Like speaking from the I and my experience, or this experience that they're relating to you, where they can share something, a takeaway for you. It's not just like talking about myself, in that it's all about me kind of thing, but where there's a takeaway for the person reading. And so it seems that, and I believe that's the same thing with live is, and you've seen this, Bridgetti, too, is with the development of a personality, at first you're afraid. At first you think, okay, I need to be perfect. And you have that imposter syndrome thing going on in your head. And I need to say all the right things. And then when you finally...
Can I ask you to take a step back there quickly?
Yeah, for sure.
I shared the video that we did on Rome, And somebody commented and they said, what is an imposter syndrome? Back a little bit and just like in a few
Sure.
sentences explain what an imposter.
Sure. Well, there's two angles of this. One is that someone is already, say, a thought leader or somebody who is thought of, and they are worried that they are put on this pedestal that they really don't deserve that level of glory, and that once somebody actually sees the real who they are, they will topple. And so there's that fear, and they feel like they always have to be performing and being that person that people think they are. And then there is the other angle where if you are someone who is striving and reaching to a certain level and you're trying to put on this look of fake it till you make it, or something where you feel like I need to look professional and great, then you feel like you are, if people actually know how much or how little you know, you will be revealed, and it'll be so horrible and embarrassing. And the main thing for that kind of person to know is that whatever you know is super valuable for those who are just a little bit behind you, because they need those tips that are a lot closer to where they are in their journey and their learning than somebody who is way high, what I think of as like ivory tower people, where they can't actually relate to where that person is. And that person may not have the languaging around what the learner needs to hear, because they've been doing it for so long and they forget all the steps and they are so far away from it. So those are the two imposter syndromes. And a lot of really successful people have the imposter syndrome. And so they're afraid to be vulnerable, to say, this is who I am. And even if it's not saying, I don't know everything, which nobody knows everything anyway, it's just to be a person, because they think people have thought of them as this persona and they have to keep that persona going, whatever they think that is. So it's really a mental thing in their head where they've, they think that somebody's thinking of them something. And who knows if they are or not. But what's more endearing, like you said, Bridgetti, is when they see the human and they see someone who they can relate to. It's not about not being perfect, really, but it's really about relating to somebody in a way where you're like, wow, I like that person because you know what? They're a normal person that I could talk to. And I feel like, I have something in common with them. They could be somebody I run into at the store and a neighbor, and we're having a regular conversation, rather than someone who's speaking in terms and so far out of your relevancy that you can't even relate. So sorry, that was a little bit long, but that's the imposter syndrome.
But that's very true. The other day, I spoke to someone and they used a great analogy on this one. And they said, you can have 1,000, there's hundreds of thousands of hairdressers out there. And they all do the same thing. They all cut hair, they color hair, they perm hair, they whatever they do with hair. There's hundreds of them. But that doesn't prevent new entrants from coming into the market. Stop somebody from saying, well, there's already 10,000 hairdressers out there. I'm not going to study hairdressing. That will never happen. Because we all connect with our hairdresser. You connect with the person and you develop a relationship with that person. So there can be thousands of hair salons and hairdressers, and there are many.
Did you know I was a hairstylist?
But you will connect with the one that you... Yes, you did tell me. And I love that story. Come on, tell everyone that story quickly.
Which story? Which part about the hairstyling?
How you got started in live streaming and that you started off as a hairstylist.
Oh, okay. So, so I was a hairstylist because just out of sheer needing to support myself and my family when I was 20, and my siblings. And I was very, very shy. And it really helped me I didn't realize this, but to become a hairstylist, because when you have a person who is in that chair for the first time, you have to have this immediate connection with them and this immediate trust for them to actually open up, for you to understand them and to be able to give them the hairstyle they want, and to read between all the actual words they say, to really sense intuitively what it is they're looking for and who they want to be in the world. And so my interaction with people became really about the person's need. And so I became less self-conscious. I was still shy, but less self-conscious when I was talking with them about their needs. And that's what we need to do when we're on camera. Is it's not about us and how we're coming off to people. That's what a lot of people think, is how am I coming off on the camera to billions of people watching? But it's more about that person that you're communicating with on the other side of the lens. And so for me as a hairstylist, that training of really thinking about the person and caring about what it is that they need and reading that. So when I'm on camera, I actually sense you over there, sitting there in your chair, or on your bed, or watching on your iPad or computer. And I think about, what it is that you really need from what I'm saying. And I do this sort of unconsciously now because I'm conditioned to do it. But that really helped me to get over my sort of just the first initial shyness. But then there came this road of my actually realizing that I was so shy that I became a television reporter, producer and then reporter, because I wanted to put myself, I'm sort of the kind of person who just jumps into the fire if I know I have an issue. And I just want to get over it. I'm like, okay, the only way that you're going to get over this is to jump in the fire. So I thought, okay, I'm really shy, and I'm not going to do this gently. I tried many gentle things. So I'm going to make myself into a television personality and learn how to be on camera. And what happened was, people say practice makes perfect. Well, it actually doesn't for everyone. Maybe for some people, but for me and other extremely shy people and people with more mental, analytical brains, you think a lot. And so there's a lot of mental stuff that goes on. So when I put myself on camera, I was terrible. I was deer in the headlights. I was live in front of hundreds of thousands of people and not able to speak and make coherent sentences. And that was like petrifying and embarrassing, but luckily they were small market television. And I got kind of better, but I put on that persona. Thinking, I'm going to be a television reporter and I'm going to do those things that we do. And we walk and we talk and we point behind us and we say things and that wasn't the real me. And so when I went into online business, I still did those videos where I was that persona, and I didn't really get any engagement. And you would think somebody who's been a broadcaster, who has a lot of experience on camera would, but it's lacking that genuine thing, that genuine human thing. And when I switched over, and that's kind of a long story, I don't know if we have time for that. When I switched over to actually be real and authentic, to really find myself and my voice and have the courage to be, not about me, but really about the person on the other side of the lens, then that's when I started really engaging and having people respond to what I was offering, and what I was offering was to help them on camera, because that's when I realized, yeah. Oh,
so it's really just learning to relax and be yourself. And Stephen Healy, my co-host, has joined us.
Oh,
hey,
yay! I don't see him.
See you.
Is he on screen?
No, he's not on screen, but he's
okay.
he's in the audience.
Oh, hi, Steven. Thank you for having me on your show. Thanks for letting me take over a seat for one day. It's so fun. And
It's
congratulations on having the show for more than a year. That is really, really dedication. And I admire that a lot, Stephen.
it has been fun. And the more one of the things that that we always say when you're trying to get into live streaming, um, if someone asks you to be on their show, grab the opportunity with both feet. Don't hesitate, because one, you're going to increase your engagement. You're going to get familiarized with you co-hosting with. And you'll get to know people from a different country. I mean, we're 12 hours apart. I'm in South Africa, and Stephen is in the UK. And I love telling the story of how we met, for example. I absolutely love that, because basically I got to meet someone in South Africa through you. So I'm going to. Yes. So give me 1 second. I'm going to bring Stephen on. He's joining us.
Cool. Yeah, Bridgetti and I met online. I mean, we actually have not met in person, but we become really good friends. And I think it was through one of my online groups that we met. And so, hi, Stephen.
Hello.
Hey, Stephen.
And
good. Hello. Is it good afternoon, good evening for you?
It's good evening. It's around about 6:48 in the UK.
Cool.
And I'm just back, and I got this invitation, which I couldn't refuse, from Bridgetti. So hello.
Hello. What's going on with you?
It was a lovely surprise to see you, and I thought, ooh.
I thought
Stephen's back.
I just hop in. I mean, I'm not due back until tomorrow officially, but it's good to be back on camera again and being myself, which is what you've been talking about.
Are you taking a little break? Is that what you're doing?
I was on a holiday. That's what we call it. I was on holiday for a week.
Nice.
And now I'm back, and it is good to be back.
How is the weather there? Is it still so hot?
It's just this very day. It's just changed. It's been in the 30s since forever, and today it's changed and it's started to rain in some parts of the country.
Oh wow!
Which is good. We need it. I mean, our grass areas look like deserts at the moment. They're so dead. Hopefully, some rain will bring them back to life. But it's been good to get away. I haven't broadcast. I haven't been near a camera for 8 days, which is a record for me.
Wow. I'm wondering, Stephen, if I could ask you, what is it like to broadcast? I think you broadcast daily, so much for so consistent. And then how is that for you to be on all the time and then to have a break? What is that like?
Well, I'm fortunate in the phrase "show must go on," because Bridgetti and David have carried the show on Monday and Friday. So the shows have gone on, and it's been good to actually watch them rather than be part of them, just for a change. Longing to be back. But I think it's necessary for all of us to step away for a while and come back refreshed. I think that's what's done. It's basically, I can now refocus on Be Live in 5 and the Live Video Hub and our shows coming up in August. So it's just good to take that break and then to come back.
I'm just wondering also, because I know for myself, it's really hard to be consistent with, it takes a lot of energy to put on a show. So what do you do to continue to motivate and get yourself going? Or what do you say in your head? Or, so many people can't do what you do or haven't been able to. So give us your secret, or give me your secret. I don't know. Maybe I've told it, but I don't know.
The secret is, one of the secrets is sitting next to you. It's all about networking. It's all about friends. And Bridgetti and I have got on famously since we met. And the same is true of David Burrows and RJ Redden, and also recently Linda West as well. And we all get on so well as a team. and it's the teamwork, which means you can carry on. Every show is different. Every show is different. Friday's show is different from Thursdays, different from Wednesdays. All have a different topic, a different idea behind them. And it's just basically, I just love talking to people. And I treat this as a conversation between the three of us at the moment. And anybody watching can actually join in. And it's the interaction that draws me back. So getting people involved. I mean, over the months of the year we've been going, we've had many people join us, haven't we, Bridgetti?
Yes, we have. Almost without fail, we've had people just simply jump on. I was telling Angeline when we started the show earlier that, we had a fixed agenda. We had a fixed list. Every week we had a long list of things to get through. And very often we didn't get through the list and we had to carry it over to the next week. And over the months, that list all but disappeared because BeLive as an app it's out of beta, it's stable. Things are just working. Things don't really break any longer. And we transitioned from being a technical support team to turning this into a talk show where we really engage with other BeLivers. And it's been great because that is what it's about. It's a show like this. It gives us the opportunity to get to know people. Because that's what live streaming is about, is getting to know people.
I have a question for both of you. Does this feel like now we have this technology and now that we're able to live stream and have these conversations bi-weekly or even every day if we want it, does it feel like this is your social world in addition to your regular friendships? I mean, are we now going to be enlarging our everyday feeling of what we do as far as like it's regular life? It's our regular social scene.
It is part of the world. It's part of our world. Well, speaking personally, it is a way to reach out to people around the globe. I mean, we couldn't do this without the technology. We wouldn't have met the hundreds of people we've connected with over the last 12 months without BeLive.tv. And it is making friendships, real friendships. I mean, we can call on people to join us. We can call on people I'll give you for an example. This is not an advert, by the way. Well, it is an advert, but Bridgetti won't mind. From the 6th to the 10th of August, a team of 8 of us will be providing online training across a range of subjects which we are good at. Yeah. And that's free of charge to everybody. That's basically 8 people who got to know each other through live streaming, got to respect each other. And we get on so well that we can actually work together, provide what is effectively a free service to anybody who's actually live broadcasting, whether it be on BeLive or elsewhere. And the true story is this. I had the idea at 2:30 in the afternoon that we'd have this 5 days live. And I asked the first person at 2:32, and by 4 o'clock I had engaged 8 people, all of whom said yes, and all of whom are getting to know each other now. Most of us already knew each other, but it is building a team of people who are good at what they do.
Really cool. It wouldn't
welcome
happen
to
without
Carlos.
Yes. Hi, Carlos. We were talking about you earlier, if you heard.
I think his ears were burning.
Yes, you heard us. I don't know if you were there, but you popped on after. So, of course, all good things. I'm glad you're here with us. Yeah, I mean, I met Carlos. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just was going to say I met all of you through.
No, carry on.
I feel very, very fortunate to have met Bridgetti. She's been such a supportive person in my life, and we become she is such a support in more so than so many people I know in person. So that's the depth, like Steven is talking about, that you feel with people. And Carlos too. Carlos has been there for me. Hi, Carlos. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, the friendships that are built online are as valid as friendships built in offline. You can help each other in ways online that you just can't in the real world.
Very true.
And people do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing about the key to this is that we're all capable of communicating with people and bring people into our world so that they become part of our world and we can become part of theirs. And wise words, Carlos.
Yep. Bridgetti rocks.
Oh my goodness.
Rocks
Wow,
a lot
you're
of
making
my
me blush.
world. It's true.
This has been awesome. I cannot believe we've gone for an hour. So to round off our show, Angeline, can you briefly tell people where they can find you?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Well, let's see. Bridgetti and I do Video School Live, and that is on Facebook and on YouTube. And we have a website, videoschool.live. I have a company called Chew on This Media, chewonthismedia.com. I help branded personalities become authentic legacy thought leaders on video and branded content. And that's me. Thanks for having me on.
It's great. I'm so pleased that you were able to co-host with me today. This was a lot of fun.
It was. Thanks, Steven.
Thank you.
And
thanks, Bridgetti.
John Upton's just joined us as well. Hey, John. Hope that you're well. Steven, where can people find you?
On BeLive.tv, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Thursday, and 1 p.m. on Friday, and on the Be Live in 5 page. Thank you, Bridgetti.
It has been a great pleasure, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and those of you that have just jumped on. And to anyone watching us on the replay, oh my goodness, John says he's been quiet. He's just been lurking.
John's been quiet? Oh, come on. It must be raining up there.
That's very funny. Well, thank you for being a lurker. Thanks everyone for joining us, even if you joined us quietly. It's always nice to have you with us. Wish everyone a great weekend. You can find me on Facebook as Bridgetti, or you can find me under Cape Town Water Crisis. And you can also find me on Be Live in 5 here every Friday with Steven. And I've started 2 new shows on a Wednesday with 2 ladies from South Africa. And that is also on my Bridgetti. Thank you, everyone. Have a great, great weekend. Steven, a big welcome back to you.
Thank you. And my final word, congratulations, Bridgetti, on becoming a moderator in the Belivers group.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Yes, you're
Bye,
awesome.
everyone.
Bye.
Nice to meet you, Angeline.
Nice to meet you too.